Welcome back, dear students. Hope all of you have gone through the first video which I have sent you. So now in today's video I am going to complete the rest of the chapter. So those who haven't gone through the video, it's my request, please go through it. Then only you will be able to understand this video. So before starting the chapter, let's have a quick recap of what we did in the previous class. So we saw that Kushwant Singh, the author, was left in the village with his grandmother when he was a small child by his parents. As his parents have to go to the city for work, so they left him with his grandmother. His grandmother was an old religious lady. The author shared a strong bond with her. They were like good friends. They shared everything right from studies. They used to play together. So now they became good friends. The grandmother did all his work, whether it was waking him up, dressing him to school, or helping in studies. So she helped him with all his work. When the author's parents got well settled in the city, he, along with his grandmother, went to the city, and this proved to be the turning point in their friendship. Now, from here, we saw that how their friendship, their bond underwent a change. In the city, Khushwant Singh was admitted in an English medium school where he used to go to school by motor bus. That means no longer grandmother could accompany him to the school. In that school, he learned English words and Western science. Though author and his grandmother shared the same room, yet she could no longer accompany him to school nor help him with his studies. Why she couldn't help him with his studies? Because no more the scriptures were taught in the school. That's why she couldn't help him with his studies. Whatever the narrator was taught, she was not that much literate to teach him. She was very upset at the thought that in his grandson's school, the scriptures were not taught. Instead of that, they used to teach them music, which, according to her, was not meant for the gentle folks. Let's begin with the chapter. When I went up to university, I was given a room of my own. So, now to pursue his further study, when the narrator went to the university, he was given a separate room because he has to study more. The common link of friendship was snapped. Snapped means broken. So the common link means living in the same room was the common link between them. None of the other thing which she used to do in the village now she could do with her grandson. So this was the only link because they shared the same room. This was also broken. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. So very passively she accepted that now she has to live alone, and very calmly she accepted without making any complaint. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. After this incident, she didn't talk to anybody in the house. Most of the time, she was spinning the wheel. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel, spinning and reciting prayers. So this was her routine in the morning after getting up. She used to from sunrise till sunset she was sitting on the spinning wheel and reciting her prayers. This has become her routine now. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. So just to relax herself in the afternoon, she used to leave her spinning wheel. She used to come to the veranda to feed the sparrows. So, what she used to do while she sat in the veranda, breaking the bread into little bits means she used to break them into little crumbs to feed those birds. Hundreds of little birds collected around her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirpings. Here, the veritable bedlam of chirpings means it was chaos everywhere. Everywhere, the noise of the birds could be heard because hundreds of them were there, and they all used to surround their grandmother to have those crumbs. Some came and perched on her legs, others on her shoulders. So, everywhere the birds could be there, The birds could be seen, some of them on her shoulder, some of them on her legs, because they want to have that crumbs. Some even sat on her head. She smiled but never shooed them away. So she loved to feed them. She loved their presence because, like in the village, she could not feed the dogs now. So the only thing was left, she could feed the birds, and she used to enjoy doing that. She never shoo them away, whether they are in big numbers or small numbers. It used to be the happiest half hour of the day for her. And this particular time, this half an hour in the afternoon, was the happiest day for her because she could do what she wished to. When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure and my grandmother would be upset. So now, after finishing his university, the narrator had to go to abroad for further studies, and he was very much sure that her grandmother would be very upset at this thought because he would be away for 5 years from home. He won't be coming back to home for 5 years. And at her age, one could never tell. That means the narrator was having the doubt that that his grandmother would survive another 5 years or not, because as such she was very old. But but my grandmother could. But he was, on the other hand, he was sure that his grandmother would survive. She was not even sentimental. She didn't show any emotion. Normally, what we see in Indian families, especially if the child is leaving the house for going for studies, not abroad, even in the own country, the mother especially, they start crying, or if they have grandparents, grandmother, they usually start crying. But here she didn't show any emotion. She came to leave me at the railway station but did not talk or show any emotion. She neither talked to the narrator nor she showed any kind of emotion towards him. Her lips moved in prayer, her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. So she was busy chanting the prayer on her beads of rosary. Silently she kissed my forehead, and when I left, I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. So, what she did finally to bid adieu, she just gave a kiss on narrator's author's forehead, and that was the last physical contact between the grandson and the grandmother. And he really cherished that imprint which she gave on his forehead. But that was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. So she came to receive the narrator after 5 years. She did not look a day older. That means she was looking the same way what he left 5 years ago. She still had no time for words, and while she clasped me in her arms, I could hear her reciting her prayers. So, in the same way, when she came to receive, also, she didn't show any kind of emotion that she is very happy to see her grandson, nothing like that. This time also, she was busy reciting the prayers, and when she even hugged the grandson, he could hear the voice of the prayers. Even on the first day of my arrival, her happiest moments were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer and with frivolous rebukes. Still, she was not happy at the. She didn't show, though she may be very happy, but she didn't show her emotion that she is very elated to see her grandson. But still, her happiest moment was that afternoon hours when she used to feed the sparrows. Here, the frivolous rebukes means she used to give scolding to the birds, but those scoldings were not serious one. It was out of love. In the evening, a change came over her. She did not pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum, and started to sing. This is entirely the different side of the grandmother. In the evening, for the very first time, she didn't said her prayers. She didn't. did not pray, what she did, she collected the women from the neighborhood. She got an old drum and she started to sing. For several hours, she thumped the skins of the dilapidated drum and sang of the homecoming of warriors. We had to persuade her to stop to avoid overstraining. That was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray. So, sagging of the dilapidated drum, here it refers to the old shabby condition of the drum. The drum was in a very shabby and very poor condition. But grandmother, she collected the women from the neighborhood. She started beating that drum and she sang the song of the homecoming of the warriors. Though she was celebrating the homecoming of his grandson, but the song which she chose to sing was the song which the women sing when the warriors comes after the war. We had to persuade her to stop to avoid overstraining. That was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray. The family members, they were asking her to stop doing so because it was not good for her health, but she did not listen. And this was the first time a very surprising different attitude, very surprising behavior of grandmother could be seen, that she did not pray, because since his childhood he has seen his grandmother most of the time spending her time on praying. The next morning she was taken ill, and due to overstraining she fell ill. It was a mild fever and the doctor told us that it would go. But my grandmother thought differently. She told us that her end was near. A doctor was called and he said it was a mild fever and soon she will recover. But grandmother could sense that her end is very near, and she said that her end is very near, so she don't want to waste her time in talking to the family members. She wanted to say her prayer because as such she didn't say her prayer today, so now she wants to spend her time by saying the prayer. We protested, but she ignored our protest. She lay peacefully in bed, praying and telling her beads. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A peaceful pallor spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead. So, quite suddenly, the rosary falls from her hand and she exhaled her last breath, and it was very clear that she was no more because a paleness could be seen on her face. We lifted her off the bed and, as is customary, laid her on the ground and covered her with a red shroud. A red shroud is a cloth by which the dead bodies are covered. After a few hours of mourning, we left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. In the evening, we went to her room with a crude stretcher to take her to be cremated. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden night. Golden light. So, as it was a custom, and I don't think I need to explain to you this, it was a custom. Then they lifted her from her bed, and they put that red cloth on her. Then, after a few hours, everybody mourned her death and they left her in the room and they went for making the arrangements for her cremation. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. Whole room was filled with the golden light of the sun. We stopped halfway in the courtyard. All over the veranda and her in her room, right up to where she lay dead and stiff wrapped in the red shroud, thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. See how sensitive the animals are, the birds are. Just see. When they were taking her for her final journey, they could see that when they reached half of the veranda, they could see the veranda was full of thousands of birds to whom she used to feed, and they were everywhere in and around her corpse. Corpse means her dead body. There was no chirping. See, the birds were not chirping, they were mourning the death of grandmother. We felt sorry for the birds, and my mother fetched them some breads for them. So everybody felt sorry the way the birds were mourning for the grandmother. Narrator's mother, she brought some crumbs to give them to the birds. She broke it into little crumbs the way my grandmother used to and threw it to them. The sparrows took no notice of the bread. That means the birds were not at all interested in the in having those breads. They were very, very upset at the death of the grandmother. And see how um, thousands of birds are sitting and they are not chirping. This is not normal, right? But see how sensitive the animals are, and still they are being ill treated by human beings. Those people say are the most intelligent creature in the world, but I don't know. Sometimes I really pity those people, those who misbehaves or those who ill treat the animals. Please don't do if any of you do that. She broke into little crumbs the way my grandmother used to and threw it to them. The sparrows took no notice of the bread. When we carried my grandmother's corpse off, they flew away quietly. See, without making any noise, without creating any chaos, they quietly went away as the dead body of the grandmother was taken for the cremation. Next morning, the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin. That means none of the sparrow had those crumbs because they were really, really upset at the death of grandmother. So, see, from this chapter, from this story, what we really learned is कि the old people, they really want their grandchildren, the people in and around them, they don't want money from you people, right? They don't want money, they want your time. So whenever, if you have your grandparents at your place, see, whenever you get time, whatever time you get, please spend with them. They are really hungry of your love. They don't want money, they don't want that you give them food all three times a day and you do a great job. No, please spend a few times and believe me, you will learn a lot from your grandparents because they have lots of experience to share with you. So this is all the chapter about. If you have got any doubt, please feel free to ask on my WhatsApp number. In the next English class, I will give you the question answers. But I really want you people to please find the question answer, do it on your own. No more you are in primary classes that I should give you the answer of every questions. So please try to find out, try to write yourself. I would really appreciate if you will do that. In the next slide, the meanings of the expressions are given here. So this is just for your reference. While explaining the chapter, I have told you the meaning of all the expressions, but still please go through it. If you want to write in your notebook, you can. So for now, we come to the end of the chapter. Bye bye, take care.